listening to Lead to Greatness. Hello. Welcome to episode number 4 of Lead to Greatness, where we believe in helping others reach their greatest potential, and together we can change the world. Today on Lead to Greatness, we'll be discussing overcoming disruptions. If this is your first time joining us on Lead to Greatness community, I want you to subscribe today wherever you are listening or watching. We know that your time is incredibly valuable to us. So our goal is to bring you valuable content every third Thursday of the month. I want to say a big thank you to those that are sharing across your social media platform. Also, if this content is extremely valuable and helpful to you, please leave a 5-star review to help get the word out. That would mean a lot to us. On today, I have again my co-host. This is our third podcast doing together. My co-host, Shante Francis. How are you doing?
I'm great.
Good. Since the last time we did a recording, we are dealing with something a little different, something that was definitely unexpected. Nobody planned for it, nobody prepared for it. And I'm talking about COVID-19. This is
Right.
April 2020. So if you check out this podcast, maybe 2025, you know the outcome or whatever happened. But right now, everybody all over the world, we're all trying to figure this thing out. We're trying to figure out what exactly going on, what exactly to do.
Right.
Even through our businesses, through nonprofit organizations, it's
Church.
Yeah, we're really trying to figure this thing out. You're panicking. You don't really know what's going on. You know how much out of control this thing is going to get. Troy, you may be thinking right now it's going to destroy you, your family, your company, your finance, your influence, your peace of mind. This is a very stressful time we are living in right now. The truth of the matter is no one have the answer. I mean, from the White House to your house, no one have the answer and really know exactly what's going on in this thing. And it's really complex. There's no training for it.
No.
There's nothing.
No manual.
There's nothing. No manual. Nothing to prepare us for what we're dealing with right now. So some people starting businesses and getting started with different things. So this is really
disruption. It's a disruption.
It's definitely a disruption. How have this affected you as an individual?
Well, it's definitely been a disruption. The kids are doing school from home, so there was, getting computers to get them ready to do things from home. I'm working from home, doing things and things of that nature. That's been a normal schedule. Things we've done for things we had planned for church or whatever, those things have been disrupted. There's been a change in the program. Plans that we had to do many things has changed because of what's going on in our world today and what we're concerned about.
And also, I mean, even in our personal life, I mean, you was working a full-time job and now you're working part-time. Your hours has been cut in half. I mean, so this thing is definitely affecting all of us. I mean, the kids are definitely. I mean, I'm telling you, they're ready to go back to school, and they're tired of being stuck in the house.
Right.
We pretty much adapting to a new normal. The stock market is out of control. Real estate is not moving like it was moving because people are scared.
Afraid.
It's like man, if I go anywhere, will I be the next one to catch this corona?
Yeah, it's very much it's disrupting normal things. I mean, just simple things. Someone coughs and we're all like, "Whoa, hold up!" It's
Right.
definitely a disruption. You can't visit people, the family things. We talked about what we normally would do on Easter. Easter Sunday just passed. We normally would have had a big Easter dinner with our family, and that had to be put on hold. That could not happen because of, what's going on and everyone having to stay home. So everyone just basically had dinner at home instead of going to this big family function that we've been having every Easter for years now.
Right.
So yeah, it's definitely it's created a life is on a different path. Our day-to-day routine, things that we did every day. I mean, typical day routine would be getting up at 5 a.m., brushing your teeth, getting dressed, driving a 30-minute commute to work, and parking in the garage, going to work, and things of that nature. And weeks ago, that changed to working from home. Logging in on the computer and doing most of your work remotely. It changed to online visual meetings and Skyping and Zooming and all of that. It changed from attending church services to watching church services online. So there is a lot of things that COVID-19 has. Right, a lot of things that COVID-19 has. What we would say are described as a disruption, because a disruption is something that makes you have to do something other than what you normally would do.
Right.
I'm cautious and I'm concerned because my thing is, I know I don't want to be sick. I don't want COVID. I don't want to test positive for COVID-19. I don't want anyone in my house to as well, because of, just not that I know what's going on I know what's going on other than what's said in the news. People talk about how hard it is on the body and the fever and the chills, and some people die because they can't recover from it. So that's a concern for me. And so with that being said, then I do things like Lysol and stuff. I do things like wearing the gloves because
And I've got to say, Lysol, man, you the Lysol queen.
Yes, I am. I Lysol everything. I mean, we've been in the house for days and
you
I
still Lysol.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do. I know, the kids, they touch things and I'm like, they're not going to keep their hands out their face. They're not going to, the teenager not going to keep his hand out his mouth. It's going to happen. And I'm like, he would be the one to get sick because he keep his hand in his mouth. He just go in the kitchen, grab chips and all of that, so it's like, if I could keep the inside clean, then we don't have anything to worry about. So I wouldn't say that I'm scared, like, oh my God. And I don't watch a whole lot of the media stuff because I think that's what gets you in that mind frame where you're scared. What I do is I have a concern, which means when they're doing a press conference, I'll tune in, and as long as they're giving us instructional information, then I'm listening. When it starts going to the left, I'm done with it. And then I'll do more things like looking up articles like from the real news to try to find information. And basically all I want to know is, what do you do? What are the things that you can do to safeguard yourself? And then, with everything else, just got to roll with it.
Definitely have to roll, because that's one of the things, the worst thing to do right now, be stuck and, just stuck where you are and, stuck in your head. You ever drove down the street, you drive down the street, then you see a squirrel in the middle of the road. Mm-hmm. Squirrel in the middle of the road, and you don't want to hit the squirrel. So you about to go to the left, and then the squirrel kind of shaking a little bit, not knowing which way to go. And oftentimes that's how we are. That's how we are, especially in a season like this. We like squirrels. We have the squirrel syndrome, and we're not doing anything. But the best thing to do in this situation, we have to make a decision. Yeah. We have to make a decision because we still have a family. We still have a life. We still have a life. We still have our children. We still have our jobs. And if you don't have your job, you still have your sanity. You still have your mind. You still have your creativity to do the right thing. So it's very important right now not to get the squirrel syndrome and not really know which way to go. Just shaking in one spot. No, we need to get moving. We need to get moving and do something. Do
Yeah.
something. Make a decision. Come up with a plan and do something. Because the truth of the matter is, COVID-19 is here.
Yeah.
It's here, and it's nothing we can do about it.
Right.
It's here.
Right.
It's here. So it's like it's nothing we can do about it, but it's something we can do. We can do something within our own lives. We can do
Absolutely.
something within our own homes, making the right decisions. You know, being
Absolutely.
strong for
Being
our
strategic.
family. Yeah, definitely being strategic.
Yeah.
In everything we do.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And everything we do, you said something just a second ago, and it was like you said COVID-19 is here, and there's nothing we can do about it. And that's true. The only thing we can do is accept what it is, accept what the situation is, accept the fact that we are in a stay home, work safe order, accept the fact that is me, no matter how much I want it to be over, it's still here. No matter how much I would have preferred for it never to come, it's here. And so the first thing that we'd have to do is accept the things that we cannot change, and accept the things that we can. So the thing, like you said, instead of just being still, and when I say be still, like just being in a frozen state, like this is happening and I just don't know what to do, so I'm just going to stay here. But we have things that we can change and things that we cannot change. The fact that the pandemic is going on outside of the house, the fact that the pandemic is ravishing through the country and through the nation is nothing we can do about that part. Right. But what we can do is Lysol everything. What we can do is wash our hands. What we can do is put on gloves. What we can do is put on a mask. What we can do is stay in the house when we don't have to go outside. What we can do is abide by the orders that is given to us by the state and government officials that is intended to help us to get through this thing and to get over it a little bit quicker. And what we can do is, although we are experiencing these disruptions like we talked about earlier, the disruption in your normal schedule, the disruption in how you would normally do things, you're experiencing the disruption in what your normal Monday through Friday or your Saturday through Sunday would look like. Right. You're experiencing the disruption, but what you have to do is accept it. And now what are you going to do in the midst of this? Even though the physical church doors are closed, you can stream online. Even though there's a pandemic going on, you can go to the grocery store with your gloves on. You have that type of protection. You and the kids are not going to school to the physical building, but set up an area in the house where the kids go to every day to do their work. And make sure that they have what they need, whether it's their packets or their computer. Sit it in a designated area so that what your children can do is still excel at their learning. So we have definitely in the middle of this disruption, to overcome it, one thing we have to do is accept what we can change and accept what we cannot change.
All right, so accept is the first thing, how to overcome disruptions, and you already gave into it. So we have 3 A's. Yeah. The first A is accept. No, we good. So the first thing is accept. We have to accept. It is what it is. This is happening. How am I gonna move forward from this? How am I gonna move forward from this?
What am I gonna do right
Right.
now?
Dale Carnegie has a quote. It says, most of the important things in the world have been accomplished by people who have kept on trying when there seems to be no hope at all. What do that mean to you?
It means that if I would liken it to the situation we're dealing with right now, it means that even though for some people it may seem like this is not going to end, or this is going to end bad, or this situation is horrible, I don't know how we're going to come out of this, all the places where the mind goes, just keep trying to be the best you, keep trying to live your life to the fullest, keep trying to be whatever it is you were, whatever business plan you had in place, work a little bit harder on it, even while you're working at home, whatever job you had, whatever it is, just keep trying, because as long as we keep pushing, to me, trying means moving forward. To me, trying means doing something. To me, trying means that I'm not just staying at home sleeping all day when I'm not working, or we're not just Netflix and chill all day, and now we done watched everything on Netflix, everything on Amazon Prime and all of that. It doesn't mean that you can't, enjoy TV or whatever, but that's not becoming what you're filling your day with. You know that you're going to return to work one day, so you're sharpening your skills with whatever programs you use at work. You know that your kids are going to return to school, whether it be this year or next year, so you want your kids to sharpen their skills and work on what they're supposed to be doing for school. It means that you're doing something. It means that you're not getting comfortable with just, I can't do nothing about it, I'm just going to sit here and let it be. And day after day after day is passing, and you could be typing up that business plan that you have. You want to be an entrepreneur. You have a goal in mind, and you feel like, well, the banks are closed and everything is closed, I can't move forward with this business plan. Yes, you can. Make you a nice portfolio. Go in the closet and get those binders and print it up and make it look real nice. You want to be in real estate, sharpen your skills, do some online courses, watch some YouTube videos. The people that like to decorate, design, whatever it is that you like to do. In this time that we live in, there's so much technology. There's so much available to us.
Education is everywhere.
Right, everywhere.
Education's on YouTube.
And it's free.
It's free, absolutely.
And even in the midst of this disruption, you can still make progress. That's something that we've been doing. In the middle of this disruption, no matter what has changed or what we've had to accept, I had to accept that my job changed. And there was nothing I could do about that. That's just what's going on in the world. The company had to make some decisions, and that's just the way it is. We had to accept that, we can't congregate every Sunday with the normal way we do, with the way our church lives to love. We have to love from a distance and through social media. So with that being said, we still have the ability to progress. We still have the ability to read. Staying in the house doesn't stop you from reading. Staying in the house doesn't stop you from taking online classes. Staying in the house doesn't stop you from educating yourself. And instead of filling your head with all of this foolishness or all of this media hoopla that could be confusing you and could be perpetuating this fear and this, the world is gonna, no. We know that even after COVID-19, things are going to be different. But what are we doing right now to position ourselves so that when this is all over and we come out on the other side, that we have something to say that, I did something with this time.
Yeah. Even as far as, like you say, our children are at home. A lot of people are working from home. Do the same thing. Get up, brush your teeth, get dressed, put on some clothes. School at 7 o'clock. Get up at 7 o'clock. Do your work. You working from home. Get up, get dressed, and get at it. Go to work. Go to work. Because the thing about it, you want to make it as normal as possible.
And let me tell you something. The days that the times when we opened up the blinds and everybody went into the living room and everybody has their computer and everybody's working, you feel a whole lot different. You feel a whole lot different than sitting closed in the house in the dark and it's like, I'm working on my computer, the kids working on their computer. I literally started telling them, get up. They get up, they come, they brush their teeth, come downstairs, they eat breakfast. I fix them breakfast, or they, this week they've been eating cereal, but they eat breakfast and they grab their laptops and they go at it. And sometimes, they'll get up and they'll walk outside or they'll run upstairs or whatever because they need a break as well,
And you have to make the best out of the situation.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to make the best out of it. You alter your environment. You make your environment better. Instead of being negative, have a positive environment. I know the situation is real. This is our environment for right now. This is our environment. This is the season that we're in. And since we're in this season, When you're in winter season, what you do?
You prepare for the winter. You dress for the winter.
Right. You put on a coat.
You put on hat and gloves. You have what you need.
You put on the turtleneck.
You're not gonna wear shorts and a tank top.
Exactly. Exactly. In the summer, you may pull out the tank top. You may pull out the shorts. In the spring, I mean, you may pull out the sweater.
Yeah.
I mean, even here in Houston, I mean, we had some cool days today.
Really cool, yeah.
I mean, in different seasons, you prepare. Different seasons, you wear different types of clothes based on the season. So this season that we're in right now, we have to prepare for it, and we in this season, and it is what it is. It is what it is. I know every last one of us, we hate that this happened. You know, wish it could have been different, but this is our reality. We can't go to the movies right now. You can't go to the movies right now. What we've been doing, we have a movie right at our house.
Night at home.
Movie at home. Matter of fact, the cinema's actually doing a thing right now where all the movies that were at the movies it's now online.
Yeah,
I know Apple TV have it.
I think Amazon Prime have some theater movies as well.
Right.
You can rent them for probably the price of a couple of tickets.
Right. Yeah, just make this situation, make the best out of it, and just and live and just live in it.
Absolutely.
Accept it. So the first thing is accept. How to overcome disruptions. The first thing is accept. The next A is what?
Assess.
So what does that mean to you?
Assess. To me, I think of it almost like an examination. You know, like a test. A test is an assessment. So when I think of it as assess, is saying that what I do with a test is I take time and I look at the information before me, and then I have to make a decision about how I'm going to answer in response to that information.
Right.
So right now, that's what we should be doing as well, and we've done that. You and I did it a few nights ago. We were sitting in the bed and we assessed the situation.
Right.
It's like this is what we're experiencing. This is what our current life is, and what are we going to do? What plans are we going to make? We made some financial decisions. Right. We made some
definitely we had to cut back.
Yeah, we
had to cut back on our spending.
Right. We made some financial decisions. We made some physical decisions. We said we limited access to where we go. We're not all out in the streets. We've only been certain places. You have been going to the grocery store, doing the store runs, so that me and the kids and mom stays home and we're safe, and you're doing you're going to get the things that we need. We haven't had a lot of exposure to other people. We've just been...
and you know what? And we did this even with the finance.
Yeah.
With the finance, our finances changed. In the last 2-3 weeks, our finances changed.
Right.
What we did, we went to the drawing board.
Right.
We went to the drawing board. We
assess the
we
situation.
We pulled out the pad, pulled out the pen. We seen, okay, these are the bills.
Yep.
These are the bills that these are the numbers. And this is what we have. Okay, how can we make do with what we have? I mean, we basically did that. We assessed the whole situation. Yeah.
And then the thing about it was, once we put that on paper and we knew how to maneuver, we said, oh, okay, we good. We know how to maneuver. We got this. We know what to do. We know what to do because we have a strategy.
Right.
So assessing your situation, assessing what you can currently do right now gives you a strategy. You know, there's things like, you know, companies, Reliant, T-Mobile, all of the utility companies and all of them, they have all kind of programs to assist people and help right now because they understand that it's a financial strain because some people are not working at all. Some people hours have been cut. Some people have completely lost their jobs. Some people are on leave without pay and all of those things. So they have programs out there to help. And all you have to do, if you assess your situation and you know that you need this help, you reach out to those people. You call those companies. So assessing for you might be sitting at home making some phone calls, calling Reliant, calling Comcast, calling T-Mobile, calling Verizon, whoever it is, and you're understanding that my finances has changed, and so they are offering assistance, so I need to make the best of this, and I need to contact them to put this in place. So maybe they're going to put my car payment on the back end or whatever it is, but you're assessing your situation. You're looking at your financials for what they are. You're looking at your day-to-day routine for what it is. Everything you just pinpointing for everything, making a decision of how you will go forward with things. Just like I said, what we're doing with the grocery store. You've been basically the only one going to the grocery store. That's assessing the situation and making a plan. We haven't been going to restaurants. There's no restaurants open other than fast food places, but we haven't even been doing that.
They still open for takeout.
Yeah, for the takeout. Yeah. We haven't even been doing that because we made a decision in our assessment. One, that it would save money. Two, it helps us to know who touched the food and that we're safe because it's been cooked at home.
And then even going further, the truth of the matter is right now we don't know how long it's going to last.
Right.
So it's like, you know what? We got to put it to the side right now, and that we can't spend what we have because the truth of the matter is we don't know.
Exactly.
We really don't know. We don't know if this is going to last 6 months. We don't know if it's going to last 3 months. We don't know if it's going to last a year. But you know what? Every month we're going to go back to the drawing board and we're going to reassess. We're going to keep assessing the situation because you have to. Zig Zigar have a quote, and it's more targeted towards goals, but he has this quote that says, if you aim at nothing, you will hit it every time. Right. Once we assess the situation, it made me feel good. Right. As a man, it made me feel good to say, okay, me as a provider, okay, man, I feel better. Okay, we have a direction, a sense of where we're going. We have a sense of where we are right now. So even as a man, it made me feel good about the situation. It's like, okay, right now my family is good.
Right. Right.
And I'm also thinking in my head, it's like, okay, how can I keep my family good?
Exactly.
Okay.
Because our assessment had to go months ahead.
Right.
Not just for right now. It had to go months ahead. We have to be able to stabilize for the long haul.
Right. I mean, we look in 3 months. I mean, if it get close to May and it looks like things not changing,
we got to reassess.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, it might happen before that. So reassess. I'm going to tell you this. I mean, this is something we need to do. Because I'm thinking about it right now. Reassess. Do it weekly.
Yeah.
Do it every other week because things are changing so fast.
Quickly,
we don't know we don't know where this thing is going to end. So assess right now. Assess right now and get to where you need to be. Know where you need to go and know what you need to have even in the process of it.
And this would also be a great time because just of everything that's been talked about in the public eye, we know that they were talking about this whole stimulus package and they're releasing stimulus payments to people. Some people have started to get their payments already. Some people are waiting on them. This would be a great time for people to assess so that before whoever, if you get a stimulus, exactly, if you get a stimulus, whatever it is, you want to make a wise decision with it. I was talking to my grandmother and we were talking about that, and she was saying, "Oh yes, that's what you want to do." I said, "When you were not expecting to get this money, so now that it's being given to you, or you get it, you want to make a wise decision with it, and instead of going online because we can't go to the store, instead of going online and we buying all these things." Because we have this influx of cash, if you receive a stimulus and they gave it to you for the benefit of helping you financially, so use it to your best ability. Use it to pay off a bill. Use it to put in your savings account for the months to come, because although our stay home work safe order is in place until April 30th, we don't know. We're hoping that things begin to lighten up as it gets closer to May, but we don't know. And so even if you have a job today and your work is considered essential, you don't know what next week or the week after could lead to. So with that being said, whatever you have financially, whatever you have in your hand, you want to make wise decisions with it. And the only way you can make a wise decision is if you assess the situation. You have to know what you have coming in and what you have going out. You have to know what you're going to be responsible for, and you have to prepare for, if this lasts longer than I hope it does, what am I going to do?
Right. And I'm a pastor. So I have to show you something. In the book of Genesis, Genesis 41, the Bible talks about how Joseph, Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, he had a dream. He had a dream, but he didn't have anybody to interpret the dream. So Joseph interpreted the dream. 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine. Joseph, with his wise self, he assessed the situation. So here it is. So Joseph basically told Pharaoh, okay, so we're going to have 7 years of plenty. So the 7 years of plenty, okay, we can splurge a little bit, but you want to put something to the side.
Yeah.
You want to save something. You want to put something to the side, because after these 7 years of plenty, the famine is coming.
Yeah.
And so here it is. Let's be honest. This stimulus check is not much.
It's not much.
But put it to the side.
Yeah.
It is considered plenty because it's nothing you expect.
You wasn't supposed to have it.
Right.
Yeah, you wasn't supposed to have it. Yeah. So if you weren't supposed to have it, it's extra. And what you can do with that extra, instead of making plans to do anything else, make a wise decision to put something to the side. Make a wise decision to pay something off. Make a wise decision, even if you've talked to the utility people and the car note people and they've given you a little leeway, you still going to be responsible for those bills in the long run. You still going to be responsible for that car note in the long run. Yeah. So you want to put something to the side or put something on it so that you can have, I would say put it to the side, definitely, because cash is king. So, you want to have some cash so if something happens or if a situation occurs and you need that, you have something to fall back on.
Right, absolutely. So here it is. So how to overcome disruptions. The first thing is
accept.
The second thing is
assess.
The next thing is adjust. So how should we adjust this thing?
And we've kind of been talking about it all along. Once you've accepted what is, what you can and cannot change, what you can do and what you cannot do. Once you have assessed the situation, you've looked at your financials, you looked at what you're actually facing, how your job has changed, or if it is the same, or how your kids' daily routine has changed, or if it is the same. You've now made an assessment. So if you have a written assessment, like we talked about doing, you now have something to go by. So now you want to adjust. That means what you did before March, before all of this came into play, you have to adjust how you're doing things now. And we talked about that a little bit already. We adjusted our spending because we had to do that because we want to make sure we have enough to sustain for the long haul, so that no matter what happens, our family is okay. We have 2 teenagers, we have mom, we have family. We want to make sure that we are okay. So in order for that to happen, then what we had to do was adjust. It meant that, like we said, even though the restaurants are open for takeout, it meant that we stopped doing restaurant runs and we cook at home every day. Or we've had my family members have cooked and they've shared with us. We have church members that have cooked and they've shared with us. So we are eating home every day, every meal. Day. We're not going out buying, meals, even though there's takeout. I'm not doing my retail therapy. We cut back on things of that nature. Amazon is not coming to our house as much as they were coming. So that's adjusting, because now you realize that what you have, you made an assessment and you realize that what you have, in order for it to sustain you for the long haul, you have to now do some things different.
Right. Charles Darwin said, it is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change. We definitely have to respond and adjust to the change.
Absolutely.
In the right way. So this is what I want you to do. Here it is. We're in the midst well, I don't want to say we're in the midst. We're dealing with
A disruption.
a disruption, which is COVID-19. That's what we're dealing with right now. We don't know how it's going to play out. I do want to say is we are survivors. We survived.
Absolutely.
We survived 9/11. We survived 2008, 2009. And I believe if we survived that, we will survive this. What I want you to do, I want you to be the referee of your own life. Don't count yourself out. People may count you out, but you don't count yourself out. Through this time, you are a winner. And we will beat this thing. We will fight this thing
Absolutely.
together. We're going to overcome this. And this too shall pass.
Many people, many of us, if we look at our lives, we have faced disruptions before. Regardless of what that disruption was, regardless if it was the loss of a home, the loss of a job, a layoff, whatever it was, if it was an illness, we have faced disruptions before. And we have overcome them. We have come out on the other side most of the time and many of the time stronger, better, wiser, and we can do the same thing this time. As long as we follow a strategy, as long as we have a plan, as long as we have our minds made up, that we're going to accept what we need to accept. We're going to assess, we're going to adjust, we're going to do our part, and we're going to leave the rest up to God and let God do what God does, and we do what we're supposed to do and what we need to do, and we follow the strategy. We will come out on the other side. We will overcome this disruption like we have overcome every other disruption.
Absolutely. Once again, thank you, Lead to Greatness community, for joining us. I am glad to have you on today, and I look forward to see you again on next month. Until then, remember, if you help others reach their greatest potential, together we can change the world. We out. Woo!